Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
Fågel.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
Гра називається Sherlock
I
Holmes.
don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes. Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
I'm close, I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
Підійде. Класика. Вуси Шерлока Холмса. Лише капелюх потрібно вдягнути від дощу. Ну, звісно.
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here! Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
А навіщо ти тоді
Then why are you still here?
рекламуєш?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Sure, now I can take the day off.
Раз, ага, чутно.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings. Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here!
Мгм. Цікавесенько. Sherlock Holmes гра називається. Українські розробники.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows
Get the
it's part of
Strand!
the game.
Get your copy of the Strand here!
Угу.
Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here!
За рогом було написано. Не за цим, мабуть. Перукарня. Ось книгарня. Газлайт. Ось Барнса.
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Барнс. Трудоголік, жертва шантажу.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
І побіг ховатися.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
No, really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Так, відкріпити. Ні, улики. Не те, що треба.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him. We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Кактуси.
basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Так. Ні.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
Ти диви.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible. The finest view London has to offer.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Так. Угу. Ні. Потрібно продовжувати докази шукати. Тут вже подивилися. Та йой.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Угу.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the
Привітики,
freshness
Вась.
of the wood. So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Тож травма в нього не від побиття. Спробуємо поговорити ще з тою дамою.
Apologies, but I can't hear you.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight? Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin? The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
Привет, Казанася.
Seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Так, а ти що тут такий підозрілий? Стоїш. Хлопчина.
I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back.
Ну добре.
A miner with a sooty face. At least, in doll form. What's this? A treasure hunt. Used to do lots of those in my childhood, myself and...
Is it a call for help? A bad joke?
or both. Better not risk leaving this matter ignored, don't you think?
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
На ринку з овочами. Набережні. Бідняки. Сміття. Нічого цікавого. Подивимося ще. Тут. Там і сям. Мапу роздивитися. Ти чого тут ножем граєшся? Вбивця маньяк. Замкнено. Китя. Китя. Так, добре. Зараз в кімнату разуму повернемося. Більше нічого тут нема. Взулося, добре. Дивимося. В'ялі книги. Так, синій доказ. Угу. Залишилося синє. Є. Ага. Ми розкрили справу.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Гра Sherlock Holmes називається.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller.
Pick up lessons with
I have a
Sherlock
subscription to every
Holmes.
magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
Москва.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Йдемо до Стенвіка.
Not much further now.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles, and it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Голову у статуї відламали. Чи була реконструкція?
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Chewing tobacco.
Дивно. Чому не можна? Ага.
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Тож потрібно якби докази зібрати.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Обличчя.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. A small navy spyglass. A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly?
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed? You think you know someone.
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold. Button chops, the remains of a meal.
Угу, там ще. Була драка.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Не від цього. Ворота замкнені.
Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
Так.
I thought you were meant to be intelligent. I thought you were meant to be intelligent. Where on earth are you going with this? Where on earth are you going with this?
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest.
Sherlock Holmes
Well, I'm sure it
називається.
was enormous.
Так,
Not that it
новий.
matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Це не було взуття.
The door to your garden has an
Камігі. Доброго
interesting
раночку.
lock.
Браво.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
Sherlock
I
Holmes
control
Awaken
Kimahir's
називається.
expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
До 3:30, здається.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come
Вибачте
by it.
телефон. Так, повернувся. Я ще сьогодні о 9 ранку прокинувся.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Так, добре. Добре, шукаємо далі докази. Може обійти маєток, подивитися, куди йде. Угу. З цієї сторони спробуємо. Заблоковано. Очікувано.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Підозра, що його викрали. Тому що була сутичка всередині. Кудись везе. Повезли. Але ключі були лише в нього. Підзорною трубою виглядав. Угу. Шерлок Холмс гра. Закинув опіоїди, вирубив його і потім витягнув.
No air coming through it. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Так, подивимося. Угу, сліди коліс, ось. Мені ключі потрібні, щоб подивитися, куди веде той слід. Тому що тачки так-то нема. Я бачив одну за куточком. Але вона, це не вона. Не на ній вивезли.
Why are you still here? If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
Тому все зібрали. Ну, він вичікував момента. Ну, у саду ми все зібрали. Більш нічого не залишилося. А, ключик. Ну, візьми ти ключ, що ти? Тут перегороджено, і тут закрито. Відчинено. Докази ми всі перебрали. Так, пропозиції. Потрібно.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it. This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it. This disappearance is intriguing, no? I
Ватсон,
cannot
не
make head nor tail of
заважай.
it.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Це не той ключ.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it. This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Маєток не війти.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Угу. Це звук зігнення. Відтворення.
This dreary rain is making a miserable day even worse.
Добре, пішли на вулицю, подивимося. Може, ще щось таке ззовні там. Так, що там нам про ляльку? Три тента з арбузами. Тан-тан-тан. Так, це не тут лялька. Привіт такий. Даш. Нормуль, нормуль. Як в тебе життя, як справа?
Looks like a factory to me. Looks like a factory to me. Wonder what could get the gears inside moving.
Sherlock Holmes гра.
Children's clothes, judging by the size. What a grim view.
Так. Сьогодні розкриваємо справу зниклого Кімі.
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
Замкнено. Тож на вулицях нічого. Може хлопчика давайте спробуємо спитати, може він щось бачив.
I should have worn something warmer.
Why don't you give me another shilling now? Because I'm sure I'll spot something else soon. No?
Воно так не працює, хлопчина. Так, ну добре. Що ще можна зробити? Наче ж все зробили. Все, що могли знайти. Уяву спрацювали. Була бійка. Може якось ці докази, що була бійка.
Get the Strand! Get your copy of the Strand here!
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
Докази, здається, всі зібрали. Так. Ага. Добре. Прикріпити доказ. Прикріпити. Ага, ось вона як працює. Нанотехнології. Розібралися. Sherlock Holmes Awakened.
you stupid, Mr. Holmes. Stop loitering.
Ще раз назовеш
Go and
мене
do your job.
stupid. О, не те зробив.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Угу. Прикріпити. Ось ключики. Mystery is solved.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Все, тепер зрозуміло, як це працює.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Хочеться вмазати йому в обличчя. Так, перевіримо. Десь лялька повинна бути поруч. А там не відчиняється. От таке життя бентежне. Так. А ось і лялька.
No seams or torn fabric on this doll. Likely one-legged by design. What does it say? Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man? A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
О, калійна селітра.
Wheels picked up
Пов'язано
brass along the way.
з
Kimahir's cart, I
вибухом.
gather. Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
Bosun's chair.
A large pile of horse droppings. Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab.
Гра
waiting here.
називається
Our abductor slipped in
Sherlock
and
Holmes
then off
Awakened.
into the night. Is this familiar to you?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Can I ask you a question?
It's a shame, but I can't help you.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Are you able to help me?
I wish I could help, but I know nothing.
Так, Підемо, доповімо.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Так. Докази. Прикріплення. Нічого закріпленого нема, тож просто ми ходимо, питаємо. О, вже є одне. Гаманець. З калійною селітрою. Підзорна труба. Теж пов'язана. Калійна селітра, вибух. Корабель Москва. Угу. Ні. Так. Тож потрібно продовжувати опитування.
May I ask for your assistance?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
Earlier the other day when I was delivering papers, I heard noises from your apartment. It sounded like the doctor was yelling in his sleep.
Is this familiar to you?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Десь тут лялька.
Help me, please.
I can't help you with that, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Is this familiar to you?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
Can I ask you a question?
I wish I could help, but I know nothing.
Так, а якщо відкріпити. Ось так зробити.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
Так.
On rare occasions, Watson, it...
Так, я не зрозумів. Статуя є.
can
Візочка нема.
suffice to trust one's gut.
Десь зліва. Ну тут ми вже підемо. Опа.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Ця
Is
бочка
this familiar to you?
It is a shame I
божевільна.
can't answer your question.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Добре. Повернемося до маєтку.
May I ask you something?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Так, тут ми все відняли. А, тут можна ще. Так, і останнє. Оп. Виправ моряк. О, ми з вами молодці.
After all, the saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The port of London. Of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
А ну, візничий. Давай, поїхали.
Where to, Gav? The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
Did not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gained God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes.
Так,
By the
нова гра
judgment
про
of British
Холмса.
soldiers for me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here? Help me, please.
I think I can help you.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Кінця.
Can I ask you a question?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
May I ask you something?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Is there a doctor? A man is very sick here.
It sounds as though those people will need my help.
Hello, this is Dr. Watson. We'll take a look at your friend. Freshly dug up treasures, it seems.
Everything ends up in a river. It's a good thing these people take something from it.
The water has a curious whitish tinge to it. The subject is hyperventilating. He has a pale face and dilated pupils. Dilated pupils, decolorized skin, necrosis. What do you make of this, Doctor?
All signs point towards acute poisoning. It could possibly be due to chemicals. I won't jump to any conclusions yet.
The coffin won't go away, and the doctor's too pricey.
Gruesome. It's been decomposing for weeks. If this were the origin of the disease, it would have started sooner than a few days ago.
Ватсон, йдемо.
It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
Are you able to help me?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Excuse me, just one
Там,
question.
здається, розробники українці, тому що спочатку було навіть повідомлення
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
стосовно України.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down.
Так, давайте спочатку ту справу виконаємо. Про срібну течію.
May I ask for your assistance?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
А то доки, здається. А, чи доки там? Здається, доки тут.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Там сюди. Але це маленькі доки. О. Де я опинився? Я опинився у доках, але хотів спочатку подивитися.
My daughter swears she saw ghosts in their house too. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Are you able to help me?
I think I can help you.
Добре. Мама мія, яка величезна мапа. Пір-стрит. Проклята русалка, портові нетері.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor is too pricey.
Це інша справа. Давайте зайдемо у русалку.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse.
А, тут є другий вихід. Кайф.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier. next to the dockyard.
Вагітна? Да, вагітна.
Miss, what if I told you that you are in the family way?
No, really? Oh, thank you, sir. How would I, a simple woman, have ever known without your help? You must be a doctor.
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
А, тож приховує.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down. Never heard of it.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here. What can I get you? After the incident the other day, it seems customers are staying at home.
Excuse me, just one question.
No, sorry, I know nothing.
Так, підемо в іншу дверку. Ага, це тут. Так, ми зараз десь тут. Вище по лісі. Можна пройти так, і там червона.
The coughing won't go away. The doctor's too pricey.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Там дурки. Ми прийшли сюди. Праворуч. Через цей будинок.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. We should ask someone else.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in the warehouse too. The coppers even went over there.
Ось склади. А ось продовження річки.
This pipe disposes of wastewater from a factory, a possible culprit, but would likely have caused trouble a long time ago. Moving on.
О, другий
Good
склад.
evening, Constable. I heard some people talking of ghosts in this warehouse.
Gossips, all of them. An old lady neighbour saw some lights in ghostly shapes in the middle of the night. She heard music too. Turns out this was the warehouse of Grandpa Kujak. He owned a business with theatre props for scary shows. I went in and... well, it is a bit creepy. But I think it was probably just some kids fooling around.
Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Not at all. It's like Madame Tussauds, only worse. I'll be on the beat round the pub for the rest of the night. Damned explosion. Good night, sir.
An effective contraption. It still works.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
There was a box in the coffin. It was removed quite recently. They opened the casket and left marks. A herbal odor with an ethylic base. Liquor? Phosphorus, used recently. Where is this going? Several crates are missing. Somebody had fun. Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas. A small cart left those tracks. That's most likely the ghost the old lady saw through the window. Inspired by the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Inspired by the legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Так, дивимося. Контрабандисти. Все. Чи до того поліцейського і розпитаємо.
Who is this intended to scare?
I don't believe in ghosts. I did when I was a kid.
This pipe disposes of wastewater from a factory. A possible culprit, but would likely have caused trouble a long time ago. Moving on.
Рибина. Замкнуто поки що.
Is this familiar to you?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Так. По котрій стороні річка продовжується. Наліво. Да. Опа. А ось і наш забруднений.
A recent cart crash.
Фенол.
Phenol, a dangerous substance often used as a sanitizer, coming from Spade Chemicals. The fish's scales have decolorized. What a disaster.
Mystery solved.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Так, з цим розібралися.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Боже. Зупинись вже, Ватсон. Скільки можна про їжу?
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some
щоб
supper.
тебе.
Do you feel like a meat pie?
Дуже незручно. Мапа. Дуже незручна мапа. Але досить автентична. Да. Дати нічого.
Excuse me, just one question.
I think I can.
В складі номер 5. Так, шукаємо склад номер 5. Так, і мені ще було цікаво склад з приводу.
Ma Dalton swears she saw a ghost in Ware's too. Coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
Шукаємо склад номер 5.
My older brother used to creep outside and whisper at me through the window.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Sort of thing? I don't know. Yeah, I did.
Ось склад номер 5.
Barrels of phenol from your company ended up in the canal. It has poisoned people. You will need to clean it up properly. Otherwise, we will inform the authorities.
What the? We will call the cleaning brigade immediately. I hope this can stay between us.
Ось і порішали.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Так, тепер людей сповістити.
Gentlemen, the doctor here and I have found the source of the contamination. Spade Chemicals will take care of it.
That's pretty good news. But how long will it take? And what about a friend? Will someone pay for his treatment?
Pressurize the company. But for now, get rid of the stained clothes and rinse any phenol-affected skin. No one else should touch the canal today.
Thank you. We'll do that. Let's go to the cheap doctor for help.
Так, з цим порішали. Тепер з привидами. Червона тканина. Здається, вона.
Excuse me, just one question.
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Ні, не вона. Так, добре. А, тут був вхід до русалки увесь час.
The people here are resilient. Tomorrow it'll all be forgotten.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Так, дослідження складу. Невеликим візком. Треба шукати невеликий візок. Великі візки.
The coffee won't go away. The doctor's too pricey.
О, хлопчина.
Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Do you still have the necklace that Solsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the, shrine. I tried to sell it to buy medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
How would you describe this Solsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
Don't go anywhere.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
I miss Girves. Do you think he's okay?
Зрозуміло, як виглядає.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper.
Зупинись
Do you feel
ти.
like a meat pie?
Ватсон голодний вічно. Де тут червона тканина була, фіг його знає. А, ось червона тканина. Так, тут у нас тупик. Побігли. Склади. Склади у нас там. Потрібно знайти маленьку тележку.
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
О, виглядає як тачанка. Але нам потрібно з коробками.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in their house too. The coppers even went out.
Papul, this is Grandma, he'd say, in a deep voice. It was scary.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
No. Тачка з ящиками. Мабуть, її варто шукати знизу. Це велика. 12-й. Щось там з 12-м було. Добре.
The planks were broken with force. The planks were broken with force.
Вугілля. Десятий склад неактивний. Восьмий теж не дуже. Це не треба.
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Ладно, добре, повернемося до основного завдання. Так. Все.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Які безпонтові. Ага, ось. Затоплене судно.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy.
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
Now, where was I?
Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Girves, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there? That boat explosion stopped most traffic coming into the port. Guess I'll be without work for a while.
Є 2. Продовжуємо шукати свідчення і докази.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Ватсон, ти задовбав зі своїм ясним пирогом. Опа. Що то ще треба. Краболовки.
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout with a silver ball in place of a missing eye.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a Dirty Summers?
He likely signed on with a ship. I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
працює на одному з кораблів. Повертаємося до доків.
Could you help me? I don't think anyone
Так, свідчення.
here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Are you able to help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Wonder why people are going missing. Puts a man on edge, you know.
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
May I ask you something?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Так.
Help me, please.
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Добре. Йдемо назад до Роя. Що він нам тепер скаже?
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though.
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be serious. This proves nothing. Sorry, you lost me there.
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that? do I fit in all this? Sorry, you lost me there.
Mr. Sol... A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings.
What? Really?
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect. It's true. And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems. I did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to his business in the warehouse area. Just that, on my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall, but I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He is a regular at the Cursed Mermaid. Goes there with his crew almost every evening.
What for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
Тож він може бути причетний до справи з другим складом. Контрабанда людей, контрабанда алкоголю.
Serious.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you. Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in the warehouse too. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Help me, please.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. We should ask someone else.
Так, ну добре.
Could you help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Я тут щось бачив. Якийсь слід. Чи мені здалося?
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in...
Спробуємо ще пошукати. Стосовно складу. Тачанка більш-менш зрозуміло, як вона виглядає. Ага. Бутылка. Ляшечка. Ты по следу с пляшечек.
Could you help me? Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Можна спробувати піти по ляху з ляшевим. Тут є ще десь. Хоча у Лондоні 19 віку таке собі. Не сюди.
Could you help me?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Ну тут сюди він не міг ту тачанку вести, тому що сходи.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Так, добре. Потім розберемося.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty Summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir. I failed to follow. Are you finished? I have glasses to wash.
Why do I have... Enough. I have hard evidence that Summers was involved in recent kidnappings across London.
I'm not surprised. So what?
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here. You must know something about his business.
All I know is his drinks order. Hard to make heads or tails of this. Are you fit?
Why do
I...
Enough.
All I know...
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
Many people are missing, and the main suspect based himself in your establishment. One word to Scotland Yard and your life takes a turn for the worse. Now, spare yourself the trouble and tell me all you know.
Okay. Summers hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key, go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
Не туди.
Strange symbols. I don't recognize them. $5. That won't go far.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Відійди, Ватсон. Посунься.
The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up.
Doesn't look like anything to me. Doesn't look like anything to me. Doesn't look like anything to me.
What did you see of Summer's work here? He was recruiting people?
It was like the whole world came through my door. People of all creeds and colours, but always strong, always tall. They seem like workers or journeymen. Beyond that, there's not much more to tell. I took his money and let him be.
And this lasted how long?
Several weeks, I wager.
coughing won't go away. The doctor's too pricey.
Стан.
No brand or markings. It looks like a bulk product. Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas.
Ага, це так працює. Так, є.
Somebody played with phosphorus to give the illusion of ghosts or ectoplasm. In reality, they were here to mix a few ingredients and prepare a solution of some sort. Then they took a box hidden inside the casket. And they left through that gate with a small cart.
Поліцай вже змився до бару відразу. Так, бар, фітнес там. Де тут поліцай? Ага, де він.
He became a grave digger, so I don't believe in ghosts. I don't like them. He became a grave digger. So I don't believe in ghosts. I don't like them. He became a grave digger, so I don't believe in ghosts. I don't like them.
Відстежити візок. Так, добре, зроблю перерву на обід і повернемося незабаром.